is how the story goes. We find out by the treasure in the grand line, there's no doubt. The pirate whose eye is on it, he'll sing, I'll be king of the pirates, I'm gonna be king.
Hey guys, King of Charmanders here, and today I bring to you the best meta builds and strategies versus Brute Tigrex. This video explores the best builds to take down Brute Tigrex, as well as the several strategies that you can use to take down one of the hardest monsters in the game. And here's a disclaimer, a very important one. There is factually no build that can easily take down Brute Tigrex. If anyone is telling you this, they have no idea what they're talking about, and they're spreading a ton of misinformation. To put it in perspective, unless you're in a group hunt, there is no way you're going to be able to A rating any kind of Brute Tigrex. It's that hard. Because it has a ton of HP, it moves around and runs a lot. And unless you're using guard strats or something like that, where you're taking minimal damage and you're making everybody else literally carry your weight, because there's a ton of builds in here where you will literally be able to stun Brute Tigrex, and you and the rest of your teammates will be able to make it so it doesn't move at all. Alright, first we're going to take a look at Brute Tigrex's weakness and Partbreak analysis. So the part that holds the rarity 6 chance is the tail. You want to cut that part as soon as possible to get the chance for that rarity 6, but it also knocks Brute Tigrex over as well. If you've been killing it enough, you know if you break the tail, it's literally going to, like, I don't know, trip over like a little Lego piece on the ground and smack into the face. So you want to break that tail as soon as you can. And the head should be the last part you target for Partbreaks, as it's the worst position to be in Brute Tigrex. We're going to go more on this later, but you don't want to be standing in the middle of it if you're attacking it, because you're going to get whacked by the next attack. And it is such a huge monster, you're likely going to be in range unless you're, like, again, you're using some guard strat, which is causing everyone else to carry your weight. And always hunt in groups /huntathon/dimensional links. There's no real benefit to soloing Brute Tigrex. Your rarity 6 odds are lower. Factually, this is, I don't know about the exact percentages, but anybody in group hunts or dimensional links, you do know and you feel that there is an extra chance or higher chance for you to get a rarity 6. Along with that, it's easier to kill, and you get that group hunt slot, which gives you that extra chance as well, so that you get a rarity 6 Brute Tigrex plate. Next up, we have the Brute Tigrex strategy. So, if you've fought this thing enough, I have a little over 100 slays on this thing. Stay away from the front of Brute Tigrex at all costs. The back of the tail is the best position to attack. Literally everything in front. Its attack range is basically take its wings and make a really wide range. That's where you're, like, basically going to get hit. As long as you stay in front, that's your most vulnerable place for it. That's why attacks like dual blades or anything that gets you to behind it or the back of it as fast as you can, or allows you to move really quickly, that's best practice. Outside of its first roar, leaping and charging attacks, again, it's always going to attack in front of it and spread. So the strategy is to break any of its parts as soon as possible and focus on the next one right after. In most group hunts, you know you have a good squad if all of you or if 2 of you are able to break a part right away. This allows you to break its parts consistently, and it basically doesn't even have a chance to move. The thing is, Brute Tigrex, as you see in these examples, will always start with a charging attack and then its powerful roar attack. This activates out Valor. So only its first roar attack, the first one in literally like 10 seconds that it uses after its charging attack, will activate Valor or anything else you have. Other than that, everything else is painful or annoying because it'll stun you or knock you back. And here's how you avoid the roar attack. You must be at least 2 rolls away from Brute Tigrex's first roar, or you will take damage if you don't have guard ability plus level 3 guard or more. Again, if it gets to this point, you and your teammates probably don't have enough power to blast one of its parts early on, so you're gonna basically be in for a little bit of a rough match or a rough hunt. And this brings us to the top 5 used builds versus Brute Tigrex. You've probably seen a lot if you're doing dimensional links. You see a lot of people in your lobby or even in huntathons that are using specific builds. This is because these are factually really good against Brute Tigrex. First, we have the Devil Joe Dual Blade Special Skill build. This is used to break the tail right away so that you and your teammate can focus on the rest of the parts. The Devil Joe Dual Blades, or the Dual Blades in general, have arguably the most powerful special skill in the game. It does heavy damage and allows you to get to the back of the monster, which is perfect for Brute Tigrex. With this combination, you could break the head and the tail in one swoop. Next up, you have the Skull Whistle Hunting Horn. Yes, it's actually factually really good. It's made specifically to counter Brute Tigrex and to paralyze it. That melody set is amazing. You have at least one in your party. They'll be able to give you not only divine protection, allow you with earplugs, and boost your attack. A great set versus Brute Tigrex, and again, it's a paralysis hunting horn. so you're going to be able to stun it. And at number 3, we had the Great Gyros Blast Dash. I have seen plenty of these just because Worm Stake Shot to paralyze Brute Tigrex is amazing. Also, they have incredible mobility, so they're able to keep up with Brute Tigrex or get behind it very quickly, which is perfect for smashing Worm Stake Shot and staying safe and allowing you to paralyze it so the rest of you and your teammates can break its parts. Next up, we have at number 4, the Magnamalo / Devil Joe Light Bowgun Stepping Shot Evading Reload builds. This does huge damage and keeps away from Brute Tigrex's attacks. Any of you that have used these, if you have, hopefully you have one of them, they're incredibly powerful, and they're actually very good against Brute Tigrex. Magnamalo itself does have Partbreaker, but they also do an enormous amount of damage against its parts so that you can break it as fast as you possibly can, and to keep you and your teammates safe. And last but not least, I have also seen the Devil Joe / Namiel Heavy Bowgun. Spread ammo does a lot better than it looks, and it does big damage to Brute Tigrex's forearms and breaks them so fast. Because it's such a huge target, blasting its forearms, you'll be able to break at least one of them, hopefully pretty dang quickly, and then after that, you and the rest of your teammates will be able to erase it from the existence of this world. And finally, we are at the build. So, there's a lot of things you could do with these. You could actually modify them a bit. I'm going to tell you the basics, main skills you have this, and then you can play with the rest. This is the Brute Tigrex Slaying Build 1. It's for dual blade users. So for Devil Joe dual blades, Black Diablos also works. It can cut the tail 99% of the time when you use their special skill, or with the Devil Joe one, you can break the head and the tail. It just depends on what you want to use. This uses Special Partbreaker to break the head / tail using the dual blade special skill at the start of the hunt. So when the hunt starts, you use a special skill and then you'll break its tail right away. This makes it so you don't have to worry about that rarity 6 part, and you can just wail on it as much as possible. So with that being said, Valor is also a part of this build, which will allow you to fill your gauge for the next battle if Brute Tigrex even makes it to its roar. So if it happens to make it to its roar, there you go, fill your special skill. You can either use it again or save it for the next hunt. By then it should be almost or nearly dead, so you and your teammates should be able to take it out for the rest of it. Again, the only important parts here are your special breaker ones, which would be the Fulgur Anjanath helmet as well as the Espinas Van Braces, and then you can play with the rest. For this build, you need the Fulgur Anjanath helmet at grade 8, the Basil Juice Mail at grade 8, Espinas Van Braces at grade 8, Espinas Coil at grade 8, and the Basil Juice Greaves at grade 8. In addition, you need the Devil Joe dual blades, or even any other dual blade that's Dragon, Water, or the Black Diablos dual blades have high enough attack to where you'll be able to use this build effectively. Next up, we have the Brute Tigrex build number 2. For Slayed, you have the Skull Whistle User 1. Status Sneak Attack is best to paralyze Brute Tigrex as fast as possible, and Status Sneak Attack 4 is the standard. You don't need Status Sneak Attack 5. If you look at 4 and 5 and you test them together, you will hardly miss proccing Status. Usually, that extra slot you have open and you put it with damage will help you out a lot more than having 5. And you can opt not to use Lock On at all and just use anything else for the chest piece. So you don't need Lock On in your Skull Whistle build. I'm practicing without Lock On because honestly, even though it is really annoying because you're zoomed in like a lot, hopefully they fix that in the future, it's still really good. I already made a build video on this one, but that's why I'm going over it really quickly. I'm going to put the video at the end of this if you want to take a look at that. But for this build, you need the Skull Whistle at grade 10 or as high as you can get, the Bish Hatton Helmet at grade 6, Brute Tigrex Mail at grade 8, Sisiaku Van Braces at grade 4, Bish Hatton Coil at grade 6, and the Somnicat Greaves at grade 6. But we're not done with paralysis. For the Brute Tigrex Slaying Build 3, you have Great Gyros Gunlance. This requires Blast Dash Stylus customization, and the role of this build is to hit Brute Tigrex with the Worm Stake Shot, Paralysis Stun, and break its parts with shelling combos. This is just as quick, if not a little better, or better. Actually, it is better than Skull Whistle because you have a lot more mobility. You can get behind Brute Tigrex and smack it with your Worm Stake Shot, and you can use the Ground Splitter to get behind it safely. And you can use whatever you want for the Van Braces slot if you don't need Lock On. So you can do whatever you want with Van Braces. I've been practicing without Lock On, and it's been doing really well for me. For this build, you need the Great Gyros Gunlance at grade 10, the Bish Hatton Helmet at grade 6, the Bizarrios Mail at grade 6, Brothian Van Braces at grade 6, or again, you could slot this for whatever you want because you don't need Lock On, Bish Hatton Mail at grade 6, and the Bizarrios Greaves at grade 5. Moving on at number 4, we actually have 2 different builds, but it's a weapon type. The Light Bowguns. Their Stepping Shot style customization is really powerful. This one is Magnamalo and Devil Joe. I'm using my Magnum Auto one, the build that uses Pursuit and Partbreaker. You ideally want Partbreaker because you want to break parts as soon as possible so you can stun Brute Tigrex and it never has a chance to attack. While the Devil Joe build uses Artillery for max sticky damage. Artillery 5 is very powerful and it can actually solo 8-star Kushala with sticky and the Devil Joe version. And since Brute Tigrex moves so much, these builds are perfect for dodging attacks while at the same time pouring damage. So you're going to want to just, well, it's clear whatever ammo you have, get to the ammo you want to, and then blast away at Brute Tigrex. There's 2 builds here. For the first one, you have the Magnum Auto Light Bowgun. You can use either one. You can use a different variation for all these, whatever works for you, as long as you have the Somnicant Greaves and the Chadacabra Greaves, or I forgot which part Naga to get Evading Reload 4. However, for Magnum Auto 1, I use my Black Diablos Helmet 1 at grade 6, Espinas Mail at grade 8, Somnicant Fan Brace at grade 6, the Espinas Coil at grade 8, and the Chadacabra Greaves at grade 6. For the Devil Joe Light Bowgun, you have the Basil Juice Helmet at grade 8, the Pasarios Mail at grade 6, Somnicant Fan Braces at grade 6, Basil Juice Coil at grade 6, and the Chadacabra Greaves at grade 6. And last but not least, at number 5 for Brute Tigrex and blasting it to oblivion. Speaking of blasting, these builds are for the Namiel and Devil Joe heavy bowguns. The bowguns are very powerful, the heavy ones, because they're spread ammo. Both require reload speed 3 and recoil down 3. Spread ammo burst is really strong, so using it to target Brute Tigrex's forearm should break and do heavy damage. I've seen a lot of content on this, particularly on the Asian side, and it really is that good. One volley can break one of its forearms, and with that, you'll be able to stun enough to just easily take it out. You can also use Evading Reload to spam whatever ammo you want to keep. This goes back to the other build with the Somnicant Greaves, Chadacabra Fan Braces, or anything with Evading Reload to get to level 4. But generally, you just want to sit here and blast one of its forearms, and then you should be good. For both of these builds, you're going to max out either Dragon Attack or Water Attack, just so you get more damage off of it. For the Namiel Heavy Bowgun, you want at grade 10 or as high as you can get it. The Namiel Helm at grade 8. Paluma Mail at grade 6, Gyrototus Fan Braces at grade 6, Namiel Coil at grade 8, and the Azarathlos Greaves at grade 6. In addition, for the Devil Joe Heavy Bowgun, you have the Basil Juice Helmet at grade 8, Paluma Mail at grade 6, Brute Tigrex Fan Braces at grade 8, the Devil Joe Coil at grade 6, and the Ebony Odogaron Greaves at grade 8. Hopefully this video helps you with whatever build you need to take on Brute Tigrex. Again, breaking its parts as paralyzing as fast as possible is important to keep it from having a chance to attack. Literally, the entry in the Hunter Notes tells you to do the exact same thing. As far as paralyzing goes anyways. But that's what you want to do. You want to pack on as much damage so that you help your teammates out. If you aren't, that's okay. Hopefully your teammates, like me and the other ones, can carry. That's literally what happened. That's literally what's happening. But yes, any of these builds do work. If you do notice like, what I will do is I'll actually, if we don't have a dual blades, I'll switch to dual blades, ult, special skill, so that we could actually break the tail, and then just switch. But then I have the ability to do that because I do have multiple 10-5 weapons and multiple full builds. Hopefully you do as well, so you can flex for your teammates. Or again, you have a group and a squad if you're fortunate enough and lucky enough to take on Brute Tigrex. Please do me a huge favor, like, subscribe, and comment for YouTube algorithm. I wish you the best of luck in your rarity 6s. I'm not going super hard on it right now. I'm still going hard just because of the exchange hub. I want to get a bunch of those Halloween tokens for those rewards. But next week is definitely the time because that's when double drops happen and I'm selling a whole bunch of Brute Tigrex. I'm also a goal of mine is to get the gold medal. So I really want that Brute Tigrex gold medal. And I'm definitely just to solidify myself as the top English creator and one of the best hunters in the YouTuber space. Good luck on your grinds, and I will see y'all on the next video.